Muscle tissue and their different types. What are muscles and what is the function of muscles? The muscles are the specialized cells for contraction and they are mesodermal in origin. Exception is iris muscle and ciliary muscles of eye are ectodermal in origin. Rest of all the muscles are mesodermal in origin. The four characteristic features of muscle tissue are they show excitability or irritability, they show contractility, extensibility and elasticity. They can respond to stimuli, the tissue can shorten and thicken, tissue can increase its length and this can return to its resting stage. All these are the features of muscle tissue. And the characteristics of this muscle tissue helps in performing different functions of the body, like they help in movement, they are responsible for maintaining posture of the body, and it gives support to the soft tissues in the body cavity. It acts as a guardian for entry and exit of the body and also helps in maintaining the body temperature. So the muscles are being classified into three types. They are the skeletal muscle, smooth muscle and cardiac muscle. The study of these muscles is called as myology. So the three types of the muscle cells or muscle tissue which is present in the human body are the skeletal muscles, cardiac muscles and smooth muscles of or the visceral organs. So the structure of skeletal muscles, smooth muscle and cardiac muscle. Skeletal muscles are usually attached to the bones and they exist in the white color as well as a fine red color fibers and they give structure and posture to body. And these skeletal muscles are usually attached to the skeleton. And coming to the structure of this skeletal muscle, it is made up of, if you imagine this as the skeletal muscle, okay, the cross section of here, if we cut and examine, this skeletal muscle consists of the muscle fiber. So this individual one, we can call it as, okay, here it consists of a bundle of muscle fibers and here we are calling it as fascicle. So in this fascicle, if you take, okay, this is the fascicle. In this fascicle, it consists of bundles of muscle fiber. So all these are the bundles of muscle fibers. And if you examine a single muscle fiber here, okay, this is the single muscle fiber. So if you examine this single muscle fiber, it consists of several thick and thin filaments which are called as actin and myosin. The striations are present. So here in this muscle fiber, it consists of several myofibrils which are made up of actin or myosin. So they have this alternate striations, that is alternate light band and thick band due to the presence or dispersion of the proteins actin and myosin. So here you can see the myofibrils in this muscle fiber are. So this is the muscle fiber. This individual one we are collecting and looking what does it have. So when we observe this muscle fiber, it consists of several myofibrils. And the myofibrils are nothing but the actin filaments. These blue color ones are the actin filaments and these red color ones are the myosin filaments. So wherever the myosin filament is present, here it gives the thick color band. Wherever these thin filaments are present, it gives the light color band. So these striations we can see, if suppose this is the muscle fiber, it have many myofibrils like this. Due to their arrangement, at some places we can see the dark band and again the light band and again the dark band are being observed. So the bundles of this muscle fiber is called as fascicle. Each muscle fiber is being covered by the connective tissue sheet called as endomysium. Okay, so it is the thin areolar connective tissue which separates individual muscle fiber. So this outer covering which is present on the single muscle fiber is called as endomysium. So these muscle fibers are existing in the form of bundle. Each bundle is being surrounded by areolar connective tissue, endomysium. So all these muscle fibers we are calling it as the bundle, and this bundle is called as fascicle. And this fascicle is also covered by a connective tissue sheet. Okay, and that connective tissue sheet is called as a perimysium. So, like this, on all fascicles, the connective tissue covering is called as perimysium. So, on all the fascicles or bundles of muscle fibers, the connective tissue sheet is present, which we are calling it as perimysium. And these muscle bundles or the fascicles are existing again in the groups, and all are again covered by a connective tissue sheet, and this is called as epimysium. So these are the three connective sheets which are being present in the skeletal muscle. So if you imagine this as the simple skeletal muscle, it have the bundles of muscle fibers, and the group of muscle fibers are called as a fascicle. And the covering which is present on the fascicle is called as a perimysium. Covering which is present on the individual muscle fiber is called as endomysium. On the total, with the covering, on the bundles of fascicles, if it is present on the whole muscle, it is called as epimysium. In the diagram, you can clearly observe how this skeletal muscle is comprised of. The skeletal muscle consists of the fine red fibers as well as the red color fibers. So this skeletal muscle consists of individual units called as muscle fibers. And onto each muscle fiber, it is being surrounded by a membrane called as sarcolemma. And inside that, it is being filled up by a fluid called as sarcoplasmic fluid. It also have the endoplasmic reticulum, and that endoplasmic reticulum is called as sarcoplasmic reticulum. Okay, the mitochondria which is being present is called as sarcosomes. So this is the structure of a simple muscle fiber. Each muscle fiber is being covered by a connective tissue sheet called as endomysium. On each muscle fiber, the connective tissue sheet covering is called as endomysium. So the several muscle fibers are being present, and they are existing in the form of group, and the group of muscle fibers is called as a fascicle. On the fascicle, it is again covered by a connective tissue sheet called as perimysium. These fascicles are again grouped together to form the bundle again, and these fascicles, all the group are again covered by a connective tissue sheet called as epimysium. So onto the outer muscle, again it is being covered by a connective tissue sheet called as epimysium. This is how they are being arranged of. Okay, now this muscle fiber again consists of the thin filaments called as myofibrils. And these myofibrils gives alternate light band and dark band due to the presence of the protein molecules actin and myosin. And these skeletal muscles are voluntary and they are conscious. This consists of several nuclei, that is, they are multinucleated with a periphery nuclei. Okay, the skeletal muscles that are being attached to the bone, and it is called as tendon. And if this connective tissue sheet extending beyond the bone, along the bone, then that is called as aponeurosis. Skeletal muscles are voluntary and they undergo fatigue quickly. They are usually attached to bones, and it occurs in the diaphragm, tongue, pharynx and the beginning of esophagus. They help in inducing movement. They are also directly involved in the process of breathing. Smooth muscles are being found in the hollow organs like blood vessels, trachea, bronchi, stomach, urinary bladder, and genital ducts. It is also found in the iris and ciliary body of the eye and dermis of skin, erector pili muscles attached to hair follicles. All these are being made up of the smooth muscles. Smooth muscles are involuntary and there is no striations. They are unstriated muscle fibers. There is no dispersion of actin and myosin filament as that of the skeletal muscle. Coming to the structure of this smooth muscle, they always have the fusiform where the ends are tapered, okay, or fixed like this. And nucleus, they have a single nucleus, okay, and here it also have all the sarcoplasma and the sarcolemma, the plasma membrane is present. But there are no striations, okay, and there is no dispersion of actin and myosin, and that make this muscle smooth. Okay, so they are being involuntary in function and innervated with autonomous nervous system, which make them to function on their own. And their overall function is under the control of hormones. The smooth muscles show involuntary movements, and the contractions which are being induced by smooth muscles are slow and prolonged, whereas which are induced by the skeletal muscles are quick and they undergo fatigue quickly. But here they don't undergo fatigue, but here the contractions are slow and prolonged. Smooth muscles remain contracted for longer periods without no fatigue. Compared to other muscles, smooth muscles have greater powers of regeneration, and this is being by the cells called as pericytes. Now the next type of muscle tissue is cardiac tissue. So here you can see this is being branched and they have alternate light band and dark band as that of the skeletal muscles. And they usually the nucleus is one, at some places it may have two nucleus. And the striations is similar to that of the skeletal muscle. It also have all the organelles which are being present in the muscle fiber. And here there is a branching and one is being interconnected with the other with the help of the disc called as intercalated disc. And this intercalated disc consists of gap junctions which helps in giving communication among the cardiac cells. So all the heart as a single unit, it undergo contraction and relaxation. So the action potential induction is by the presence of pacemaker which give information to a particular cell and that information is being shared among all the cells. So these cardiac muscles show functional syncytium and as a single unit or whole unit it is undergoing contraction and relaxation due to the presence of intercalated disc and gap junctions. So these are being located, the cardiac muscle is being located in the walls of the heart and walls of large vessels attached to the heart like aorta and pulmonary trunk. It is similar to the skeletal muscle. Okay, they have the striations, that is actin and myosin filaments are present, and we can also see the actin bands, that is the actin bands, I bands, as well as the myosin bands, A bands, anisotropic bands or thick filaments or thick bands, light bands are the I bands. So they also have usually one nuclei. At some places it have the two nuclei. They are shorter and are branched. So here the terminal ends of these are being joined together and the junction, and they are called as intercalated disc, and they have the gap junctions for sharing of information, and that exhibit orthorhythmicity, that is autonomous function of the heart to undergo contraction and relaxation. So the function of this cardiac muscle tissue is it helps in giving the autorhythmicity or the contraction and relaxation. Rhythmical beating of the heart is with the help of this cardiac muscle. So this is the picture where you can see the branching of this muscle, cardiac muscle fiber. So here this is being branched with that of the other cardiac muscle fiber. So this helps in sharing the information between the two muscle fibers. So a heart as a single unit, it exhibits autorhythmicity. So here these are the three types of muscle tissues which we have discussed, that is the smooth muscles which are being present in the visceral organs, and they has the spindle shaped or fusiform, and they don't have any striations, no dispersion of actin and myosin, and that made it the smooth. It has the single nucleus and it is present in the walls of internal organs, and smooth muscle is involuntary in function. Coming to cardiac muscle, it has the striation, alternate dispersion of light band and dark bands. They are branched and they have the single nucleus. This occurs in the wall of heart and they are also autonomous. They are involuntary in function. Skeletal muscles have striations as that of the cardiac muscles and they have several nuclei. It is the skeletal muscle usually attaches to the skeleton or to the bone, and they are voluntary in function. If you like the video, share and subscribe. This is Pravalika signing off.